What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I just want to play with makeup. It's been a while since I've sat down and filmed a video with you, and I just want to do that today. It's honestly been a hot minute, and the reasons are completely valid. I am a college student, so that takes up a majority of my time. I just want to drink my smoothie and have some fun and put on a fresh face of makeup just to take it off and go work out. Life is what it is. I mean, what can I say? Honestly, I don't want to sit here for too long and ramble, so let's go ahead and get started right away. Okay, so I just zoomed you guys in so you could see my face up close and personal. I did take off my mascara. I'm going to leave on my eyebrows. If you want to know the products I used the Glossier Brow Flick in brown, I believe. And then to set them, I just used a clear gel by e.l.f., which is literally super glue for your eyebrows. And I thought an eyebrow pencil was the most natural way to do your eyebrows. Because I've basically already done the bare minimum for my face to go out into the world and not look like a rat, I do already have my sunscreen on, so we're set to go in that department. If you want to know what I use, I just use the Supergoop sunscreen. It's SPF 40 and it's clear, a perfect base for under your makeup. Highly recommend. For foundation today, I'm actually going to use my Rare Beauty foundation. This is in 170W. I am loving this foundation. I have an interesting relationship with this foundation because upon first application, I loathe it. I hate it so much. But if I let it sit on my skin and I just ignore it for literally like 10 minutes, if that, I absolutely love it. Turns out I have an olive undertone. Didn't realize that, but I do. All foundations on me look too yellow or too pink, and this one isn't necessarily an exception upon first application. This one actually looks slightly yellow and slightly too warm for my skin tone upon first application, and it blends out looking fairly patchy, and I don't know why that is, but literally give it like 10 minutes and it's my perfect color and it doesn't look patchy anymore. I genuinely can't explain it. I don't know. I'm not a beauty guru, so couldn't tell ya. Something I haven't done with this product in the past, because it has a doe foot applicator, I typically have just been putting it right on my face, and I think that's where my application flaw comes in. I think that's where it starts to look a little patchy. This time, I'm actually going to put some on the back of my hand first, like that. Then I'm just going to take my sponge and pat it in pretty well into my hand. And I'm just going to slowly start applying that to my face. I really dislike using too much foundation, so I literally use just enough to make sure that my skin tone is evenly distributed, so to speak. The foundation is doing its job, I don't know. And applying it this way is actually completely solving my initial problem of patchiness, so that's good. I think this foundation just has a really natural finish. It's not too dewy, it's also not matte at all. So that's my skin with the foundation on it. At first, to me, like, it looks a little yellow. Give it time. I swear, give it time. It just looks so normal and natural to me. I love it. Moving on to the next step in my routine, I'm going to take the Rare Beauty concealer, also in the shade 170W, and I'm going to take that under my eyes, but a little bit lower to meet kind of right next to my nose, because that's where most of my redness shows up. And that's all I do. With this concealer, it's a little bit more sheer, so I do put on quite a bit more concealer than I would normally, but because this shears out so nicely and it's not too bright on my skin, then I really like to go in with a tad more. Like, okay. Pretty much whatever doubt I have with the foundation is completely gone as soon as I touch that concealer, man. It is so beautiful. So as you can see, it just lifts my eyes a little bit. I do have more downturned hooded eyes, so I like to lift them with the concealer. Beautiful. I love the concealer. I love it so much. Now for my next step, I'm actually going to contour. I just recently started doing this. It's a little bit new to me. However, I'm really enjoying the look that it gives to the face, especially because bronzer isn't my favorite thing to apply. apply. I've always applied my bronzer like I would apply a contour, so I've never really applied bronzer just to bronze the face because I honestly don't necessarily care about bronzer. Oh my gosh, did I just say that on the internet? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get torn apart. I understand the point of bronzer, I understand the point of contour and the difference between the two. I just have always cared more about contouring my face as opposed to making it look warmer. You know what I'm saying? The contour I'm going to be using today is the Fenty Beauty Contour in Amber 01. This is a cool toned contour, and I might have benefited from a different shade. However, this works just as well, and it was way too expensive for me to like even contemplate buying another shade. I'm actually gonna get another one of my beauty sponges wet. I haven't used one for my contour before, but I think I'm gonna try it in today's video. So you can already see the natural shadow, if you will, of my cheekbone. So I'm just gonna highlight that, but I'm not going further than this point. I'm gonna keep it really high up just because my face is more round and I like to make it look a little more lifted. I also create this little C shape as well. The C shape is honestly just there to kind of blend it into my face. It's not necessarily for any specific purpose. It's just so it doesn't look like it has a harsh line, I suppose. So I'm just gonna take the time to blend that in for a moment. That's blended in, I do like to kind of take it down here where the rest of my natural shadow continues. I'm literally just taking whatever is left on my sponge, nothing crazy, and I'm certainly not going to apply any more product. And there we go. Dang, you can already tell we're looking fine. I'm also almost blending above where my contour is just to keep it relatively high because again I am trying to lift my cheekbones. Nice. Now I'm just going to take some product and carve out my jawline. So I've been liking to take it just in a line right past my chin, if you can see. And making an arrow. And I just make this arrow really just to blend it into the rest of my skin, not for any specific purpose outside of that. After that, I just like to take some right at the top of my jawline, right in the corner here, just to carve that area out a little more. Now it's time to contour my nose. For my nose, I just draw 2 lines down the sides. And then I put a little U shape underneath because I just want to over accentuate that natural shape of my nose. I'm even going to bring it up a little higher, and then I'm just going to draw a line across my nose. Then an additional bonus that I like to add is just contouring below my lip. Yes. Contouring is such an art and such an interesting one at that. Like, it's so fun to play with this stuff and just to accentuate natural features of my face that are already there. I just love doing that. I don't know why. It's an art form. I love it. And then it just adds a little extra shadow, which I love. Now I'm just going to blend out my nose situation. I think I'm actually going to grab a brush for this one just because it's such a small area and I'm working with such a big sponge. Now we are beautifully contoured and it's time to move to the next step. Blush! I just recently bought this blush. This is the Phytosurgence blush in Singe. It's a really, really pretty, almost like rosy, not even. It's like colors, how to describe colors. It's almost like a dusty, warmer rose. It is such a pretty color. I absolutely love it. It's also really cool because it's by a really small company. The Instagram only has about 2,000 followers. It's really small to the point where I'm pretty sure the person who ships these out so low. It's insane. I have one other product from them that I'm trying out that I think I'm really enjoying, but we're not going to speak about it just yet. This one, however, I am enjoying. I really like this product. A little goes a very long way. I just barely warm up the product in my hand. And like, you guys, gorgeous. Also, I'm just now paying slight attention to the lighting situation, and I feel like a couple of these shots are going to be a little overexposed. I apologize for that. I don't know. It's my camera situation. I have a ring light, so it's definitely my camera is acting weird to the lighting. I don't know why that is. I'll put some further research into it and figure out why it's doing that. In the meantime, I'm just going to grab... I love it. I love that shade. It's also slightly, I don't know if you can see it on camera, it just bounces the light in such a natural way. I got the color Singe, as I've mentioned before, but they do have other colors that I would love to try in the future. Because it is a smaller brand, they're a bit more expensive, so they're one to work up to. One to save up for. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. I love it. As I do with my contour, I like to keep my blush really focused up here as opposed to on my cheeks, because that's going to give me the illusion of a little bit of a higher cheekbone and a little bit more of a lifted face. So I like to accentuate this C right here, just like I did with my contour where I created a little C. I like to do that with my blush as well. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my gosh. Like, can we just talk about how pretty and natural that looks? I also like to add a little bit on the tip of my nose just to marry it into the rest of the face. And then I also add some on my chin just to, again, marry it to the rest of my face. And that is our blush situation. Very natural, very light, but such a beautiful color and such a beautiful finish and formula. Absolutely love it and would highly, highly recommend Phytosurgeon's blushes. I'll have them linked down below. I think I'll have everything linked down below. How about that? Moving on to highlight, I'm going to be using my Say highlight. This is in the shade Star Glow. This one is a really pretty illuminating liquid highlight. I mean, oh my gosh, look at it. I'm so sorry, but can we talk about this color for a minute? Shade range, wouldn't recommend. It has two shades. They have this shade and like a golden shade. Formula, beautiful. Look, beautiful. Shade range, I don't know. I don't know. I really do like this product. The shade range, like I've mentioned, not my favorite, obviously. I mean, two shades, we know they can do better. But at the same time, it's a highlighter and it's beautiful. So if one of them works for you, I do recommend it. I'm just going to put some of that on the back of my hand, just like in a tiny little squeeze. And then I just take this part of my blush sponge and apply it with my sponge. As with my contour and my blush, I like to keep that C shape that we had going on earlier. So I'm going to be doing that with my highlighter as well, where I'm really just placing this highlighter super high onto my face. Naturally, you can already tell my face grabs light right in that area as well. So what I like to do is after I've highlighted right up here, and I'm actually going to take the highlighter right here, right where my cheek naturally grabs light. So I'm just gonna re-show you on this side. So I just like to accentuate this C shape, as you can see there. Beautiful highlight, absolutely love it. And then my face naturally grabs the light right in this area, so I like to bring it down from that C right onto my cheek. And it just creates like the longest C, almost S shape right there. Personally, I think it's really important to pay attention to your natural facial features and accentuate those, because honestly, that's what looks best. It also obviously looks more natural as well if you're already accentuating those features in a way that they were already there, but you're just making them pop and stand out a little bit more. Then I'm just gonna take whatever's left on my sponge and I'm just gonna pat it into my chin. Yes, honey. I'm also gonna take some down the bridge of my nose, which is my favorite thing to highlight, so I do go overboard on this one. I'll also take some onto my Cupid's bow and then right under my brow bone. This is honestly my secret to getting such a snatched, beautiful base, is literally just to accentuate your features because it is so beautiful. Dude, people are so pretty. Okay. For my setting sprays, I actually like to use 2 different setting sprays, and both of them have different purposes, which is important. This first setting spray has been a long time favorite. This is the NYX Bear With Me Prime Set Refresh Spray. I really like this one as an agent to melt everything into the face because it is a primer and a refresher spray. It's not quite gonna give me that long-lasting effect that I want. However, especially when I use powders, it really melts everything into the face and melts everything together and creates the most beautiful look. So I like to use this when I don't use any powders, but if you are using powders, I highly recommend getting yourself a setting spray that's not just gonna set your skin, but is going to melt everything together. Even just like a hydrating mist, whatever that may be, as long as it's okay for over makeup, I think it would probably work the same. So I'm just gonna spray this on my face. Now just to press that in and melt everything really into the skin, I'm gonna take a fresh, clean beauty sponge, and when it's just barely damp, I'm just going to lightly tap it everywhere. Just pressing everything into the face and making sure everything really melts into my face. The second setting spray I have is for longevity and making sure that it stays on for a long time, and that is this Morphe Luminous setting spray. I did try out their matte one and I hated it. It was like hairspray for your face. Absolutely terrible. It was also matte and I'm not a huge fan of matte things. However, this one is also kind of like hairspray. It does definitely set your face and make sure that it's going to stay there for a long time. However, it doesn't mattify your face, which is even more important to me. This one definitely has a fairly strong smell, as well as their matte one that I try. So if you're not a huge fan of smells, would not recommend that, or this one. This one has a really strong, weird smell that I don't like. I've gotten used to it now, so I forgot to mention it, but I don't think any other products that I use have a smell. For mascara, I'm just going to use my Liquid Lash Extensions from Thrive Cosmetics. This is an amazing mascara. I absolutely love this mascara. It is so good. Packaging, first of all, is beautiful. Look at that packaging, and it's super heavy. Like, this is the heaviest mascara I've ever felt in my entire life. It's amazing. It's also a tubing mascara, which is why I wanted this one so badly. Basically, what a tubing mascara does is around each and every single one of your eyelashes, it literally creates a tiny little tube around all of them. Just to remove this product, all you have to do is take a little bit of water, gently pat it over your eyes, and then pull on your eyelashes ever so slightly, and it literally just falls off in little tubes. It's amazing. I love it so much, and it's probably going to be really good in the summertime when you're going to like swimming at a pool or swimming at a beach, because really all you have to do is get into the water and then just gently do this to your eyelashes and it's gonna be all gone. There is no flaking, there is no smudging or smearing. Before this one, I was using my L'Oreal Lash Paradise mascara, and I really love that mascara, especially the clumpiness of it. I really did like that. However, I hated that if I wore it too long and I didn't check myself, it would leave a black smudge or like smear looking thing under my eyes. Some powders did it worse than others, and some concealers did it worse than others, but it was almost like if my eyelashes even touched my face, it would just melt onto my face. And some of the powders that I used almost seemed to draw the mascara off my eyelashes and onto my face, which is obviously even more annoying. So I've been really liking this one. I haven't had that problem of transference that I mentioned, and it hasn't smudged. It hasn't flaked at all, which I was actually concerned about because I believe this one says it doesn't flake specifically. However, I was like, it's a tubing mascara, so obviously it's gonna flake off onto my skin, right? But it hasn't. And the wand is super, super tiny, which makes it even more perfect for like really in-depth specific application, especially when you're trying to get the base of your eyelashes. I have to look real close into the mirror, so just ignore me for a moment. I also have really long eyelashes, and when I first put this on, I literally couldn't believe it because I felt like it even added more length than I originally had, which was insane because I really do have long eyelashes, and I have never seen them quite this long either. Definitely an experience I would recommend. Whenever I put on mascara, this is really just the point where I just sit in awe of my concealer because I literally can't see it on my skin. It's flawless and it's so skin-like, and I literally cannot see it anywhere. Like, where is the makeup? I'm confused. I'll go ahead and give you guys a before and after to what this mascara looks like because it's literally incredible. For my lips, I'm just gonna apply my NYX Professional Makeup Lip Pencil in Ever. It says SPL 828 Ever. This is a really pretty color that matches my cheek color. However, I don't know if I love this formula as much, so there's that. And I'm just gonna apply this all over my lips. Had to change the battery, of course, but those are my lips done. I'm just going to take my e.l.f. highlighting stick and highlight in the corners of my eyes, underneath my brow bone, additionally on my nose, because as I mentioned, love that part, on my cupid's bow, and then I think we'll be done. And that's my makeup done. There you guys go. That was your makeup content for today. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I loved just sitting here and chatting with you. It was a little less chatting and a little more tutorial-y than I thought it would be, but it was still, nevertheless, extremely fun. I'm just excited to be doing anything other than school at this point. Like, I was already excited about doing this and about, you know, filming and editing videos for you guys and creating content. I absolutely loved doing that, and I've been doing it for years and years and years before this channel ever came to be. But man, there's something different about doing it after you haven't done it in a while, and it's just me and you, baby, just reconnecting again. I really hope I'll be able to do more videos like this in the future, just sit down chat videos. Honestly, whatever you guys want to see from me, let me know in the description bar below. Please go ahead and subscribe. It really supports my channel. We're actually growing quite a bit, and I'm really, really excited about it. We're getting a solid little community going, and I'm really excited about it. So if you want to join that, hit the subscribe button if you like my content thus far. Also, please give it a thumbs up because it honestly really does support my channel. Didn't realize how much until y'all started doing it, so thank you very much for that. I'd love to be back here as soon as I can, so hopefully I'll see you guys very shortly. Until then, I hope you guys have a great day, a great night, or whenever it is that you're watching this, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!